I'm Wayne from Ace Customs and Ace Customs Racing. We're very excited to be featured on Rod Shop again. This time we're going to be featuring some of our different projects from Ace Customs Racing. Ace Customs Racing initially came about when I met my now business partner, Grant van Skalkwyk, and he had a vision to build an evolution of an iconic Ferrari 312 racing car from the 70s. Basically, the idea was to do a scale replica of the car, but to evolve the car from a technology point of view. Better brakes, better suspension, our own modern chassis design, more modern engine, and still keep the essence of the vehicle, make it a hardcore racing car, no driver aids, no driver assist, no ABS, those types of things, so that one can really immerse yourself in the driving experience and get a real true feeling for what it was like to race those hardcore racing cars of yesteryear, where you don't have the assists and the technology available to you to help drive the car. Although it's an evolution of the Ferrari 312, we have our own vehicle brand known as Maranello, and that specific vehicle is known as the Maranello Sports Prototype. When we originally built the car, we had a single vision really for the car, which was to build additional vehicles to be exported or to be raced locally, either in vintage car racing or classic car racing. But since then, our vision has evolved to the fact that we can actually, or rather to say, what we have built showcases our capability and what we can do and what we can build. So basically our process to build the car, which was quite an exciting process for us, it actually all started with a scale model, a scale replica model of a Ferrari 312. We scanned the body using 3D technology, we built a plug, from there we built a mold, and from there we built a scale replica out of fiberglass of the body. So as you see the car, it is an exact scale replica of a Ferrari 312. The differences come in when you look at things like the chassis, which is our own design, in-house designed and fabricated, nothing done by external parties. The suspension design, the geometry, all of that is internal Ace Customs Racing design and fabrication. Basically, the car from A to Z is Ace Customs Racing. A lot of the parts were imported from the US. We use QA1 shocks, a lot of rod ends and those type of parts, seating from the US. We got a Kirky seat in there. But other than that, the parts that are not feasible to fabricate, such as suspension, everything else is in-house designed and built. Even our machining is done in-house by our own machinist. So the car really showcases what our capability is. And I think what's exciting is to show that perhaps a viewer wants to build a dream car of theirs, but they don't know how to go about that. It's entirely possible to use our exact process of the 3D scanning, using a model and developing that from there, building our own chassis. It's entirely possible to do that with almost any vehicle. Obviously, budget and time allowing, because it's not a quick process. Neither is it a cheap process because of the amount of hours that go into something like this. But it does showcase what is possible. Originally, we had a Lexus V8 motor in the car. It performed extremely well. We did some very good lap times. The car is extremely capable on track. But basically, the car's kind of become our development platform. And as an exercise in development, we've changed the engine now to a 4-cylinder Alpha Twin Spark engine, kind of to see what's the impact on the performance of the vehicle from a weight reduction, because it's a smaller engine. We have less horsepower, but we have less weight at the same time. We've also implemented a lot of carbon components on the car, which have saved us a fair amount of weight. So we've been experimenting in how the car performs by making changes to the vehicle, changing the engine, changing the braking, changing the aerodynamics of the vehicle. The car's largely the same, but making small changes and see how the car performs with these different components added. One of our focuses when we built the sports prototype was to use cost-effective components rather than going for the most high-end, most expensive components, we elected to go for components that would work in the application extremely well, but keep the cost of the vehicle build lower. So for instance, on our development vehicle at the moment, we're running an Audi transaxle gearbox mated to the Alpha 2-litre 16-valve twin-spark engine. The chassis, as I mentioned, is completely fabricated by us, combination of mild steel and chromoly. The original Ferrari 312 ran the fuel tanks in the side pods of the vehicle, but that's obviously a safety concern, so our fuel tank runs behind the driver's seat. We're running Kirky racing seat, can be configured for side-by-side driving with an additional seat, which is ideal for driver training or that type of thing if you have a requirement for a twin-seater vehicle. Very useful. As far as suspension goes, we're running QA1 shocks, as I mentioned. Those are obviously purchased from a supplier, but everything else you see on the vehicle, such as the anti-roll bar, the suspension uprights, the links, all of that fabricated in-house or machined in-house. The carbon fiber that you'll see on the vehicle, such as the front splitter, the floor, the airbox, also all done in-house. We were extremely pleased with the way the vehicle came out. The performance on track is exceptional. The turn-in, braking, performance, straight line speed, all very, very good. We set some excellent lap times at our last track event where we were up against, or it was an open track day, but we were up against some significant supercars and we were running with them, which I think is a testament to the engineering that's gone into the vehicle. But also we're very proud that it's South African designed and built in-house. So for anyone looking for a capable racing vehicle that is something different, very immersive to drive, something that really gets the sensors going, something that you wouldn't see every day, this is definitely the vehicle for you. Alternatively, if you don't, for instance, like the design of the body, we can use our chassis technology and our in-house fabrication skills and our body design technology to build what you want. So really, there is no limit.